That one?
All right, happy Thursday, good people. Live from the two different Rosen spaces. Here with the one and only, my wife, Lia Joy Rosen. Hi,
Mhm.
my love.
It's official, like a referee whistle. Hi,
So
my
we're
love.
excited to share. The past couple months, we've been doing different things in the spirit of just sharing the air and the mic and the bringing more perspectives to the space. And I'm really, really thrilled to share with you all that Leah is going to be holding the Thursday Food for Thought down for the next month or so. Um,
Yeah,
so let me pass it over to you, my love.
she's passing the torch, y'all. She's letting me get wild and loose. No, I'm just kidding. I promise to drop some good knowledge, something to really feed your mind, just like I feed my belly, or like my lovely wife feeds it. She's an amazing cook. If y'all don't know. I'm super excited to be here. I'm super excited to join the community and kind of get back into more spark in my life. I've been here since the original idea, so it's good to see how far things have come. I was asking Rachel if we could let this topic be about how to keep love going even through a season of grieving. And I think there's an important message there because we are all in different ways and shapes and sizes grieving as our world is shifting and things are changing and as the reality of it is becoming more real. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to talk about that. Give y'all a couple minutes of just some of my thoughts, and I hope to be able to hear back from you all what it brought up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, that
I
sounds.
usually do videos for children, so I'd like pause to wait for them to respond to me in their video, and then I keep going. So I might have those moments. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. Tomorrow marks month number 5 for Rachel and I as a married couple, which is such a beautiful delight and has been a beautiful time. Yeah, so I'm excited to kind of just name that as one of the reasons for this topic.
Mm-hmm. I love it. What would you say? When you think of grief, what comes up for you in terms of, because I think it's so many layers of it, and especially with kind of this moment in the previous Thursday Food for Thoughts about sustaining the work and the commitment to anti-racism and justice work, and
Yeah.
the layers of grief that people experienced on their journeys of awakening and consciousness and development and activism. What comes up for you when you think about that?
I actually am. I've been feeling, which has caused me to think about this a little bit of like out of syncness, right? Like I'm not. There's not anything in front of me in any particular day that's causing me to feel sadness or worry, but I feel like my whole spirit, body, and soul is like disjointed. And as you and I have been doing this week, just trying to get reconnected back into realigning our spirits, our minds, and our bodies. I've been thinking a lot about like, I've been trained to just keep working through it, right? If something's going on and if there's a fire, you putting the water hose on the fire, but you still moving. Like that's how my brain has been trained. And so I'm starting to really realize like everything that's been happening in the last few years really I'm starting to really feel because there are people around me who are being impacted in such different ways and it's been really awakening to have people losing family members right due to the pandemic and to still to want to be able to like be there and hold them and be in community with them and being like that's right the world doesn't stop which
Mm-hmm.
blows my mind. So I think I've been thinking about it or feeling it rather than my body has been feeling it more than I've actually been thinking about it. And I'm just kind of catching up to my body and realizing like, oh, I'm not taking care of myself because I'm actually subconsciously sad and worried and nervous. But I've been, just trying to push through, right? And trying to like lean into positivity and lean into my love. And like that can still be true. But I also want to make sure I'm also being honest with how my body is responding to the things that are happening in the world. So that's how it's coming up for me as almost like this unconscious disjointedness. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I'm curious to know if that's how it shows up for others, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And just this paradox, the constant truth that two things are always happening at the same time, and it feels amplified right now. And so why is love so important to you? I mean, I can fill in the blanks, but like, why do you think we need a call, like a call to action for more love in this work?
Yeah, I've really, really strong, beautiful friendships with a group of folks that I went to college with and spent my early adult 20s with. And we've been trying to like link up via Zoom and things of that nature. And our schedules are all crazy. We're all doing amazing things, which is awesome. But I started this little task with them where we each recorded kind of some updates and how things were going. And while recording, I was like, my face was all breaking out. Everything was happening. It was crazy. And what pushed me to keep recording and keep leaning in was like, I just needed their love for a minute, you know, like to be held in a space that I knew has been my safe space for a really long time. And oftentimes I think, move back, right? We like go into our little circle, our own little like solo shells, and we don't want to share with folks how we're doing. But I think love will always hold you. I've been taught that in my adulthood from you, from the divas, and it continues to prove to me that that's true. And I think that's a part of the healing experience, right? I don't think overnight you're just going to feel better. I don't think our world is just going to feel better. But if we can lean into loving each other a little better, then we can get through this, right? I truly believe that. And I think you thinking that you're sharing your sadness is gonna, maybe people aren't gonna get it, or maybe people are gonna judge you or whatever. And it just takes one person saying one sweet thing to you that can get you to like start caring a little bit more, right? So for example, we've been saying we're gonna walk more like in the mornings at the end of the day. And I am the person that will give us 1,000 reasons why we shouldn't do that, right? But this week it's been pushing me just because of the positive messages, right? To just be like, this is the one thing you said you're gonna do this week, keep doing it, right? And I'm starting to feel my body, I'm feeling it sweat. I'm feeling where I've gotten like some more like stomach rolls and things of that nature, but I'm feeling it versus just seeing it, which was happening a couple of weeks ago. I was so disconnected. And so I'm feeling that healing process happen too, all because I reached out and people loved on me, right? And like that, I think if we can just give each other a little dose of that, it truly goes a long way.
Yeah. And that's the magic. That's the whole purpose of Spark. Like just that one conversation can really change so much. And just that one teeny tiny glimmer of light in a time or dark moment can really change things. And I feel like it takes vulnerability to reach out. It takes vulnerability to really talk about like, dang, my face is broken out and my stomach hurts and I'm not feeling good, you know? So I think the big food for thought might be around how much love and vulnerability are interconnected and how like we need more of that right now, especially while we're grieving and especially when we want to just kind of get in our cocoons and not engage with others, but it's actually what is in the remedy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'll also say to that point, that's a really beautiful point. I think I have a lot of privilege in terms of just being surrounded by people I know care about me and love me, and I understand that not everyone has that. Something that Glennon Doyle said in her book Untamed was she would write letters to herself when she was in like her lowest addictive moment so that she can see them later, her lowest like depressed moments, so she can read them later and understand how she was being in that state. And I would also recommend something like that. Like I think even like I don't journal often enough, but when I do find myself journaling, it's because I want to remember that version of myself so I can go back and be like, oh, okay, I need to work on this when I'm in my clear-headed state. And so I would even say like being a friend to yourself, loving on yourself, right? Even if that means you don't have someone to go to get that positive message, like how do you share with yourself? Post a note, put it on a mirror, right? So you can be reminded the next day, like, okay, someone cares about you, that someone is you, right? Which is worth you sharing with yourself. And I appreciate that push there.
That's right. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what can folks expect starting next week when it comes to Thursday Food for Thought? I appreciate all that. And I hope other people, I can't wait to hear what it sparks for others.
Me too. I think what people can expect, first of all, we're going to be bumping. That's number one. Not no music because I don't have no rights to none, but we're going to be making our own beats. Two, I I've noticed and I'm getting kind of reconnected to my mind. Like I just think about things a certain way and I'm always like, oh, well, other people probably think about stuff that way too. And then I'll share it and people are like, oh, I wasn't thinking about it that way. I'm glad you shared that. And so I want to just kind of get back to being in community with folks that I respect and care about and learning and leaning into this this journey of learning. I'm in a really beautiful space as a young 33-year-old, I'm really just trying to learn from my community. I'm trying to be held accountable for my community. And so you can't be held accountable when you stay in silence, and you can't be held accountable when you shy away from hard conversations. So I'm just gonna bring some topics that I don't have all the answers to,
Yeah.
and see what see what happens, and see how we can learn from each other, and build off each other's ideas.
Love it. Love it. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited, and I love you. I'm excited to get this conversation going. And yeah, y'all, don't forget to keep tuning in to our Thursday talks, and we'll see you in Friday's pop-up, everybody.
Y'all missing the pop-ups. Come here. It's a healing space, man. See you at home, babe.
All right, see you soon. Bye, everyone.